celebrating everything that makes Central Illinois amazing. This is Living Well.
Good day to you. Welcome to Living Well. I'm Yvonne Greer. Hope you're hanging in there through the holiday hustle and bustle. I am really trying, but admittedly, I am also really a little stressed. On the show today, which health questions did you Google this past year? We'll run down the top 5. Assisted driving is supposed to make things easier on the roads, but there might still be a few dangers to watch out for. And we'll offer up some year-end tips to get your money right headed into the new year. It's all on the way, so settle in as we begin with the day's health and consumer news. Eating chili peppers may help you live longer, and there may be a silver lining to catching a cold. Lisa Mateo has a look at some of the day's top health stories.
New research finds catching a cold lowers the odds of getting the flu at the same time. The reverse also seems to be true. Researchers in Scotland found those who have influenza are 70% less likely to also become infected with the rhinovirus, a type of virus that can cause the common cold. A new study finds home hospital care decreases hospital readmissions, reduces cost, and improves physical activity compared with traditional hospital care. Home hospital care includes nurse and physician home visits, intravenous medications, and remote monitoring. Harvard researchers say they found no significant difference in quality or safety compared to traditional hospital care, which can have drawbacks such as increased risk of infections. And researchers in Italy find people who eat chili peppers 4 times a week or more reduce their risk of dying from a heart attack by 40%. The main substance in chili peppers is capsaicin. It has been shown to reduce inflammation that can lead to the development of some diseases. Those are some of the day's top health stories. Lisa Mateo, CBS News, New York.
In other health news, opioid use and suicide are not as strongly linked as previously thought. Experts had said that up to 30% of opioid overdoses were suicides. A new study by Columbia University researchers found it's actually 4%. That dropped from 9% between 2000 and 2017. Though the overall proportion of suicides by opioids is down, the rate of suicides involving opioids is actually increasing. Both are ongoing public health issues. The study's lead author says findings suggest that for most people who overdose on opioids, the primary clinical focus should be on substance abuse. Researchers say more studies are needed to properly understand the link between suicide and opioid use. The study was published Tuesday in the Journal of American Medical Association. It is very common for people who are feeling ill or concerned about their health to consult Dr. Google. Users flooded the search engine with their most burning health questions in 2019. And in today's Health Minute, Jeremy Roth has the top 5 most asked questions of the year.
Here are the top 5 questions asked of Dr. Google in 2019 and our answers based on medical experts' information. Hiccups often start out of nowhere. The U.S. National Library of Medicine notes they often happen when you eat too quickly, drink alcohol, or are feeling nervous or excited. According to the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, about 8% of people in the U.S. get the seasonal flu. The duration depends on how bad the virus is. Most people can get by with over-the-counter fever reducers, while some will need an antiviral from their doctor. Just like they can start out of nowhere, they can go away just as randomly. Most of the time, they will stop after a few minutes. However, if they persist, see your doctor. There is no shortage of at-home remedies passed down through the generations. Of course, not all of those will work. It's the top diet-related term for the second year in a row. The diet is high in fats, moderate in protein, and very low in carbs, which forces the body to go into ketosis, breaking down ingested and stored body fat, then using that as energy. This was the #1 medical question people wanted to know about, and no wonder. According to the CDC, 1 in 3 U.S. adults have high blood pressure. Eating a healthy diet with less sodium, watching your weight, and relieving stress can all help reduce blood pressure. For today's Health Minute, I'm Jeremy Roth.
Consumer news is on the way next on Living Well. We'll take a look at assisted driving in the cars and see if it's really helping us be safer on the roads.
You're watching Living Well on WMBD.
Advanced driver assistance technology like lane assist and adaptive cruise is designed to make cars safer. But as Chris Van Cleve reports, new research from AAA finds people who regularly use the systems are far more likely to be distracted behind the wheel.
Asleep at the wheel, literally. Cell phone video in Boston captured this man who appears to be snoozing on the freeway. It happened in Los Angeles, too. Seth Blake spotted this driver who also appears to be taking a nap while driving.
We were in his area while we were driving for probably about 10 minutes, and he only woke up one time and kind of like looked around, and then he just like went back to sleep.
Nearly 93% of all new cars have at least one available advanced driver assistance feature. They can help maintain your lane, speed, distance from other cars, or even hit the brakes. AAA found drivers who regularly use those systems are nearly twice as likely to be distracted than when those systems are turned off. Are they essentially zoning out behind the wheel?
Yeah, I think we're seeing some evidence of that.
AAA researcher William Horry.
These technologies can actually really make it seem as though the vehicle has got these different aspects of driving covered, and so that can lull you into this false sense of security.
Car makers say drivers have to be prepared to take over at any time because these safety features do not make the car autonomous or self-driving, and they're not perfect. Here, a Tesla with autopilot engaged rear-ended a fire truck stopped on the freeway. Another slammed into a police car on the side of a Southern California road. Tesla did not respond to repeated requests for comments, but in the past has stressed drivers need to stay engaged with the road. And while advanced driver assistance systems are becoming more common, there is no federal standard, so they all work a little differently. Laws on distracted driving still apply to drivers. And studies show taking your eyes off the road for just 2 seconds doubles your crash risk. Chris Van Cleve, CBS News, Washington.
Earlier this year, the National Transportation Safety Board warned over-reliance on these driver-assisted features and not paying attention can lead to serious accidents. Boeing plans to suspend production of its 737 MAX airplanes. The company confirms it will stop production of the 737 MAX in January. The planes have been grounded worldwide in March after 2 crashes that killed 346 people. Boeing continued to build 42 of the planes a month since grounding, but those planes have not been able to be delivered. In fact, Boeing has an inventory of more than 400 airplanes in storage. The company says the continued uncertainty of the MAX's future forced it to make the drastic move to pause the plane's production. The company's stock price fell at the news. Here at home, recreational marijuana will be legal in Illinois at the beginning of the new year. Area law enforcement officers say even though it will be legal, you still have to follow the rules. Police say educating yourself about the use of marijuana will keep you out of trouble. Officials say one of their biggest concerns is how cannabis use will affect drivers.
We've had people driving DUI or impaired using marijuana for, since there's been cars. That's not going to change. Continuing to use ride sharing, it's no different if you're going out to the bar, if you're planning to go someplace and you're going to consume cannabis, use your head and use Uber or a taxi or call a friend for a ride home.
This week, the Sheriff's Department will post do's and don'ts of marijuana use on social media. Bloomington city officials have also set rules and regulations for marijuana users when the new law goes into effect. A heated discussion last night led to what the council called a compromise. Aldermen voted to allow dispensaries, but will not allow processing or cultivation centers. They also placed a hard cap on the number of dispensaries. Only 2 will be allowed in the city starting next year. They also voted on an ordinance that states you cannot possess cannabis if you are under the age of 21, nor sell it to someone who's under 21, have it on school grounds, or use it in a public place.
When elected officials compromise, it's because they're afraid to take too bold of a political stance, afraid of what their constituents will think.
People that know about this wait, kind of give it more time. A couple reactions were, how fast can I get my house on the market? So you're going to be believing and go to other places. So.
In Normal, town council members also put the finishing touches on their marijuana plan. It was illegal to be in possession of any type of cannabis paraphernalia in the Twin Cities, but last night, both councils voted to amend that law, making it legal starting January 1st. Coming up, waste not, want not. Tips for a sustainable holiday when Living Well returns.
You're watching Living Well on WMBD.
Americans throw away about 25% more trash between Thanksgiving and New Year's Eve. So environmentalists are encouraging you to make small, sustainable choices when it comes to gifting and decorating. It can have a big impact to protect the environment for many holidays to come. Mary Maloney shares some ideas in today's Consumer Watch.
Despite the cheer, the holiday season takes a toll on the environment. But there are some sustainable ways to simplify and reduce waste.
We need to be aware of our impacts and of the things that we're purchasing, of the things that we're consuming.
Number one, go with eco-friendly gifts. Give items that are long-lasting or can be reused or recycled. How about gift certificates to local museums, concerts, restaurants, or theaters? Or better yet, make your own holiday presents.
And it's pretty affordable because most of the ingredients you can have it at home. For example, doing the natural body scrub, the only things you'll need is olive oil, salt, and coconut oil, and maybe some essential oils.
And most people already have this at home. If you don't have Himalayan salt, you can use regular sugar or regular salt.
Number two, ditch the wrapping paper. Opt for alternatives like scarves, magazines, newspapers, maps, and posters. According to the CDC, if every American family wrapped just 3 presents in reused materials, it would save enough paper to cover 45,000 football fields. And number 3, when it comes to decor, ditch the tinsel and plastic decor. Instead, use natural items like evergreens, berries, flowers, and twigs to make ornaments. Or simply reuse last year's items and avoid the temptation to buy anything new. For Consumer Watch, I'm Mary Maloney.
Lots of folks are hoping to be able to sustain their cash flow through the holidays as well. If you can find a few extra minutes to examine your finances, money expert Stacey Johnson has some suggestions to keep your financial house in order.
As the holidays are in full swing, the end of the year is fast approaching. That means time's running out to make important financial moves before December 31st.
There are things you should do at the end of every year to keep your financial house in order. Sound like a chore? Not really. Most of this stuff you could do during commercial breaks while you're watching TV.
First, passwords. You need to change them more often than annually, but if you haven't done it, do it now. Best solution, a free program that creates and remembers passwords automatically. You just remember one, it does the rest. Next, check your credit report. In less than 5 minutes, you can get a free copy from each of the big 3 agencies.
How about your 401k or other investments? Is it time to rebalance? Stare at your investment statements for a few minutes and see if you got the right mix of stocks and bonds. Also, while you're at it, think about your taxes. Are there losses you can take now that are going to reduce your taxes next April?
And speaking of taxes, you know you're going to clean out those drawers, closets, and storage rooms sometime. During a commercial break or two, grab some stuff you don't want. Next time you go out, drop it off and earn a tax-deductible contribution. Another easy task while watching TV, scan some important papers and store them online. You're going to clear your clutter, protect yourself, and get more organized all at the same time. And finally, make a will. If you don't have one, at least do something quick, easy, and cheap online. It only takes a few minutes.
Did you know the average football game has about 100 minutes of commercials? That's enough time to do almost everything I just mentioned. So watch a game and start the new year organized. Want more ideas? I've got a bunch waiting for you right here at MoneyTalksNews.com. Just do a search for Money Moves. For Money Talks News, I'm Stacey Johnson.
Entertainment news is on the way next. Tom Cruise's Maverick is back in the sky for the Top Gun sequel.
You're watching Living Well on WMBD.
Chance the Rapper wants to spend more time with family, and Hollywood's biggest female stars are out with a powerful film. Maren Austin has those stories and more in today's Eye on Entertainment.
Of an Irish
the highly anticipated Bombshell hits theaters this week. Nicole Kidman, Charlize Theron, and Margot Robbie star in the film that highlights the 2017 sexual harassment scandal at Fox News.
Women are everywhere. We're letting them play golf and tennis now.
HR's on the phone because you called me a skirt.
Yeah, I got to read that manual again.
Catch Bombshell in theaters Friday. Chance the Rapper announced he is canceling his tour. The Chicago musician told fans on Instagram there has been a back and forth with reschedules and rerouting, and that he will take this time to be with family, make new music, and develop his best show to date. And buckle up, Maverick is back.
Your reputation precedes you.
I have to admit, I wasn't expecting an invitation back.
In the new trailer for Top Gun Maverick, fans can ride along with Tom Cruise. After 30 years, Maverick finds himself training a detachment of Top Gun graduates for a specialized mission. Top Gun Maverick is in theaters in June. That's your Eye on Entertainment. Maren Austin, CBS News, Los Angeles.
Now a bit more on Tom Cruise's return to the skies. David Daniel has the Hollywood Minute.
Aviators, this is your captain speaking. Today's exercise is dogfighting.
2 versus 1? Hey, you gotta be kidding.
Here's your latest look at Top Gun Maverick. Tom Cruise's Pete Mitchell teaches a new generation how to zoom through the sky in the follow-up, which reaches theaters June 26th.
And both looking right here for me.
Kerry Russell joins the Star Wars galaxy for The Rise of Skywalker, opening Friday, and she took her partner, fellow actor Matthew Rhys, to the cast screening.
And that music starts, and you're just like, ah! I looked at him and I said, how bad do you wish it was you instead of me in this movie? And he's like, so bad.
We got ourselves a suspicious package. We better call it in.
Richard Jewell got pretty good reviews, but it fell flat at the box office. How flat? The drama's opening weekend of $4.7 million is the lowest for a film directed by Clint Eastwood since Bronco Billy way back in 1980. Back then, the average movie ticket price was less than $3. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
We'll be back to wrap things up with today's Take a Look at This, featuring the world's oldest couple celebrating their record-breaking marriage.
You're watching Living Well on WMBD.
Finally today, a farmer was able to save a sick animal on his farm. And who does he have to thank? The other farm animals. Jeremy Roth has today's Take a Look at This.
A farmer was able to save an ailing calf's life thanks to some very concerned horses. Nebraska farmer Kevin Lewis's day started out like any other, but something was off. Lewis says his horses were acting strange.
This one was just freaking out all over, just whinnying and carrying on.
Their bizarre behavior alerted Lewis to an ailing calf, which he quickly took to shelter. It didn't look good, but Lewis's mother began bottle feeding the animal, and since then the calf's weight has doubled and it's recovering well. It's all thanks to some vigilant horses and a farmer in tune with his animals. You know, I'll bet if you asked anyone how monuments like these are cleaned, lasers would not be anyone's first guess. No, not that kind of laser. This kind of laser. The National Park Service is working on removing dark spots and other blemishes from DC's Jefferson Memorial using high-tech stone cleaning laser beams. Workers will have to take their time, though, as the laser system cleans about 2 square feet an hour, and the memorial's dome alone is, check my notes here, 10,000 square feet. Yikes. Finally, this Texas couple is celebrating 80 years of marriage. Charlotte and John Henderson have 211 years of life between them, and they're still going strong. They've been married since 1939 and are now in the record books. Their anniversary solidified them as the oldest married couple in the world by Guinness World Records. For Take a Look at This, I'm Jeremy Roth.
Ain't love grand? That is pretty fantastic. Congratulations to them. I thank you for being with me on Living Well today. I appreciate you being with us all week long. The folks from Medical Reimbursement Management Services are going to be here tomorrow, and Chef Mark is back on Thursday, and he says prime rib is on the menu for the holidays. I cannot wait for that. Send me a note. Let me know how you'll be spending this holiday season. Maybe send me a photo that I could use here on the show. I'll see you back here again tomorrow for more ways to stay powered up and, of course, living well. Have a terrific day.